WD18 outside Vicarage Road is finished. Watford 2, Southampton 2. Shame we sat next to each other today, which is an absolute pleasure. Some scenes and limbs in the home end. Good to get back from a 2-0 deficit. But what did you put the comeback down to?
I put the comeback down to Troy coming on. Honestly, he changed the game. We just looked like first half, perfectly honest, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. First half, we were terrible. I mean, just no organisation, defensively all over the place. Southampton were just... It was easy for them, wasn't it? You know, that second goal cut us apart, one touch in the box, another touch to set it back. It was so easy. And I mean, the anger, I think, at half-time was definitely justified. But we rallied second half. Watson went off. Troy came on. And for once, for the first time in like what seems like decades, I called for 2 up front. It happened. And look at what happened in that second half. We were so much better. Andre Gray played fantastically well today. I'm a big critic of him on here, but he looked good. But he looked good because he had someone up there with him. Him and Troy were feeding off each other, and that's what's crucial in this team. Troy looked like a different player. He didn't look like the so-called lump that people say that he is. No, he was. The two of them were working. It looked like there was some sort of a relationship as well, as if they'd been working on things in the dressing room, on the training pitch. So. Things look good from that perspective. Great to see Andre get a goal as well. That'll do his confidence the world of good. And then obviously the limbs when that equaliser went in. Brilliant. And do you know what? It's been a long time since we've experienced those kind of scenes as well. The Christmas period was dreadful. I mean, I found we beat Leicester and all that, but Swansea here was terrible. And I think some of the fans were obviously a little bit. I personally was a little bit bit nervous coming here today because I wasn't sure what kind of performance we'd put in. We needed to put in a performance, obviously, given the occasion and everything, and but it's good to see. I'm a bit worried about Cleverley. I have been told it's a hamstring. I hope he's not out for long because he looks good.
And there were boos.
Yeah, there were boos. Yeah.
Not Cleverley, but what I'm saying is, it just shows how instrumental he is in the team.
He is, yeah, and I think. As much as we rallied in that second half, attack-wise, and Pereira, I thought had a fantastic game. One of his best in a Watford shirt, I think. He struggled a lot recently, and so has Carrillo in the last, when we went through our really tricky spell. But two of them have come back and they've actually put in really good shifts. Carrillo has as well. He kind of blows a bit hot and cold, but. When he puts in a good performance, you can see it, and I think the fans do get behind that. Defensively, I still think we're an absolute shambles. I really do. Southampton, we got lucky. Southampton kind of backed off in that second half. They didn't necessarily create the chances that they would have done. There was one great chance I think they had, Long and Cabasele. Cabasele got into a right flap, and I swear if that ball broke to Long, it's 3-1.
We spoke to each other. We said Cabasele had one of his worst games today.
One of his worst games today. It's such a shame as well because he's done really well. He really has, but. I thought him and Wage were looking more and more like a unit together. Cabasele was just like a rabbit caught in headlights in that first half. Long coming up against him. He really struggled. Ziegler as well. I mean, he was abysmal. Yama gets a lot of stick. He does get a lot of stick. But I thought he was all right today. Tested the keeper in the first half. Second half, that shot off the crossbar. Really unlucky. And you could tell as well, and he was getting the Graham Taylor stand pumped up, getting us pumped up in the rookery. He could sense something was coming. Ziegler, oh my God. That first goal, Southampton, was entirely down to him. He has to be getting tight to his man. Tadic runs all the way through. The ball's over there, and he puts in a foot-high challenge. If he makes contact, or even if Tadic plays for that and dives, the liner gives a foul, and I think honestly it's a red if he does that. And you know what our luck's like with the referee. On a separate note, I thought the ref had an absolute shocker today. Absolute shocker. I've been told, however, Doucouré's goal was a handball. So maybe everything kind of levels out in the end, but
we kind of deserved that luck in the second half.
No, we did, because we were definitely knocking on the door, but there were moments, I think, in that half when we kept giving the ball away. I'm like, is it going to come? Are we going to make that possession count? First 10, 15 minutes, we were all over them. And that first half was fantastic. The way we bounced back from that first half was brilliant. First attack, Troy getting himself in there, really putting himself in and around there. Overall, a point people would probably say isn't a great result. It's not amazing, we really should have come here today and won. You're looking at the fixtures we have ahead, but on the balance of play, a draw is probably a fair result. Next weekend, big game against Leicester City, really big game. We're going up against the other grey. Had to be fun. watching Jan Matt try and defend him, and Ziegler struggles, and he's up against a tough man in Mahrez next week as well. That's going to be very difficult. Kabasele, I hope, bounces back, because up against the likes of Vardy, Okazaki, players that will work him like properly into the ground. But the way forward is two up top, as I've said for absolutely ages. Look at how different Andre Gray plays. He looks like a different player. He looks like that Burnley player that everyone said, yeah, this is the guy we signed for 18.5 million.
I'll just prediction that.
That's a game where I think we'll be lucky if we get ourselves a draw. Good start, and we could do something. Poor start like today, and we'll be up against it, and the fans will be on the back of the players. Really don't want that, but glad we fought back. Let's go to Leicester next week. It's good.